Well, this is this is this is me moving out of my office. I know this podcast has a lot of times been me teaching, and I want to continue to have it be about that, and to share what I feel like God's doing in my life, what He shared with me, and encourage you through that. But also really want to be vulnerable and honest with where I'm at. And you might be able to hear some noise in the background. It's because the wind is blowing pretty hard right now. Here in Dalton, we just had the remnants of a tropical storm come through, and so this would normally be a work day, but everybody is gone, and it's part of why I decided to come in today and clean out my office. Nothing weird, nothing wrong. This was planned. If you haven't been following along in the podcast, I have been in the middle of a 6-month transition out of my role as a worship pastor here at my church, and this is coming closer to the end of it. My family and I have built me an office in my house, which I'm excited about. But this is part of the process. It's going through all of the stuff that's in here and moving out. And honestly, like it hasn't been easy. It's been generally fine so far, but I honestly have not felt much emotion as I've been doing the transition. I'm very much a what's in front of me type of person, and I'm excited to do work, to do new work, to do new things. Yesterday, spent a lot of time putting together the beginnings of my office at the house, and it was just excitement. There's something about being here in this office without anybody else here at the church that is bringing the reality and the fact that I'm not gonna have this space to myself anymore. And yeah, just kind of reflecting over the past 9 years. I haven't been in this office the whole time. I used to be upstairs in this building, and yeah, it was awful because I wasn't around anybody. And so for a few years I was up there. This room used to be a nursery, and then we built it out, built a wall in between my office and the one next to it. I ended up with the window, which has been really great. And yeah, I've been working down here. A lot of good conversations, a lot of hard conversations in this room, a lot of music played, a lot of songs written. Developed some good friendships in here. Connected with God a lot in here. Prepped sermons in here. And God has been good. This job has been amazing. It's been incredible. It's provided me with a lot of flexibility and freedom over my time so that I could pursue what I felt like God was calling me to pursue. One of the reasons why I'm stepping down out of this role is because one of those things was a book, and I got to write a book, Beyond the Shallows. The book will be out in spring of next year, and I'm excited about that. I started training students how to lead worship, and youth worship training is now a reality. It's a website, and excited about that, excited about getting that off the ground and really investing in the next generation of worship leaders. I'm excited about speaking, I'm excited about songwriting, all of the things that I was able to develop as skills and press into and find a passion for. And God used this space. God used this office. And so I'm just grateful. Grateful for that. Grateful for the people here at Fellowship who've taken care of me over the past 9 years. But I'm really going to miss it. Really going to miss this space. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. There were times I used to have an L desk that kind of came this way, and I had my TV mounted on this wall, and I connected my computer to it, so I had a nice big screen. And we had a fire in our sanctuary, and I was doing a bunch of work to get us back in there. It was really stressful, and when all of that ended, I remember sitting right there where the piano is now, and like my heart was just racing, and I started having panic attacks because I didn't know what to do with myself. I had systematized all of the worship ministry stuff. I had memorized all of the songs in our repertoire, and so I didn't need to practice nearly as much. I knew what I was doing, and I got really good at leading worship and not investing a ton of time in preparation for leading worship, because of all of the other work that I had to do to get us back into the sanctuary. And then I was just stuck here going, what do I do now? What do I do with myself now? And it's funny how like the scariest thing during that season was time. The scariest thing in that season was margin space. And now I am voluntarily putting myself in a position where I will have a lot more time. I will have a lot more freedom and a lot more space to do more writing, to do more speaking, to do more courses, to record podcasts like this. And I'm determined to approach it a little bit differently, and to not get overwhelmed by it. To not just stress out and freak out over it, but to really lean in and ask the Lord what He wants to do with the time, to see it as a gift to Him and not as a gift for me to take and do something with. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I've been approaching the last couple of days. And it has not been anxiety inducing. I haven't been stressed. I haven't been stressed about having time. Like even yesterday, it seems really cheesy, but like yesterday morning, I just had a conversation with the Lord. It's like, okay, there's a lot I could do. How do you want me to spend my time? And I felt very clearly like He was like, don't produce any content. Get your office ready. Do that work. Do it with your family as much as possible. So my wife spent some time homeschooling the kids. I spent some time, going through stuff and packing up the office. And then they came over and helped me load this stuff and bring it over to the house. And man, my attitude yesterday was so good. Really struggled with the stress of this whole job transition and being present with my family, being present with my kids. I've cut out a lot of social media in order to try to get myself off the phone, because I just constantly feel that urge to distract myself, because there are certain times when thinking about everything that I'm going to be doing in this next season is super exciting. And then there are other times when it's absolutely terrifying. And so to be left alone with my thoughts can sometimes be a little bit overwhelming, and then sometimes really inspiring. And the fear that it would be overwhelming is what would want to drive me to hop on social media or to distract or to always have the screen on when I'm engaging with my kids. But yesterday we just did a lot of work with the kids, and I was patient with them, and had good conversations with them. I was present with them. And it really made me feel like this is how it could be working from home if I work from home with the right attitude and with the right perspective. This isn't the first time that I've tried to work from home. I worked from home for a year and a half or so at the last church that I was at, Center Faith Church, now Center Faith Baptist Church in Knoxville. Before they had a building, I worked from home quite a bit, and we had a newborn, and boundaries were hard and difficult and weird, and I was not good at time management. And so yeah, I'm both excited and nervous to see how this goes. But I think as long as I can keep that perspective of, you know what, this time is the Lord, this seasons is the Lord, because I really have about through May in order to figure out, okay, Lord, what are you doing? Are you going to make this thing where I do a thing by myself work, or am I going to join another church on staff? Really don't know. I think that's hard. I think it's hard for people here at my church that, you know, me and my family are still local. We would love to continue to attend here, but don't know if that's the right thing to do for us or for our family or for the church. And so we're just kind of like wrestling through all of that in real time. It's not like I'm moving out of town yet. And so, yeah, it's just kind of hard to feel like there's a short answer for people a lot of the time. But yeah, the reality of sitting in this office and feeling like this is the last significant chunk of time that I'm going to be spending here for a while is it's really sobering, and has really made me reflect on God's goodness and His kindness towards me. And I'm looking forward for what He has for me next, but I'm not going to be caught ignoring what He has already done for me. So I'm just going to say thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for this space. Thank you for giving me inspiration here. Thank you for speaking to me in this room. There's nothing holy about this space, but Lord, you have used it. You've used it as a tool to grow me up in a lot of ways, to draw me to yourself. Father, I know that you will continue to speak to me, but Father, I pray for a new space, the new space that I walk into. Lord, I pray that it would be a place where I would continue to connect with you in new and fresh ways and in a lot of depth. Father, thank you for speaking to me here. Thank you for using me to build your church here. And thank you for all the ways that they have poured into me as well. Turn me into the man of God that I am today, by your grace and through your kindness. All right, I know this was a little bit of a different one today, and it might feel a little bit different listening to this if you're not watching the podcast video. But yeah, just know that I am excited about what's coming next. I am excited about continuing to teach and press into what God is doing in the church at large, and to help the church in my region. And yeah, He's going to make everything clear, and we can trust Him, and He's faithful. He's been faithful to me here in this office, and He will continue to be faithful. He never changes, and He's always good. He's always been kind. So God bless you. I'll talk to you next week.